noticed entire towns in America that feel empty, with boarded-up windows and for-sale signs everywhere? The American dream promised endless growth, but what happens when people start leaving instead? I started digging into the data, headlines, and stories behind this quiet exodus. It's not just one place or one industry. It's a pattern reshaping the country. From Appalachia to California, a silent migration is changing the American map. This is about more than economics. It's about hope, and what happens when it fades. So what does it feel like to be one of the last to turn out the lights? This is the story of the states being left behind. Our first stop is West Virginia, a state of stunning beauty and deep loss. Coal was once its lifeblood, building towns and shaping culture. But as coal declined, so did the communities, slowly, painfully. Main streets emptied, schools closed, and hope drained away. Young people leave for better opportunities, while the older generation stays, watching their world shrink. The opioid crisis hit hard, fueled by despair and economic decline. It's not just jobs lost, it's a way of life disappearing. The cycle is brutal. Economic collapse leads to social crisis, making recovery even harder. West Virginia's story is about more than numbers. It's about people left behind by a changing America. Pride remains, but so does grief. The American economy moved on, but many here feel forgotten. The question isn't just how to bring jobs back, but how to restore hope. In West Virginia, the exodus is as much about the heart as it is about the wallet. Next, Illinois, a state with Chicago, agriculture, and industry. Yet people are leaving in droves. The main culprit? Taxes. Illinois has some of the highest property taxes in the country. Families do the math and realize they can save thousands by moving just across the border. It's a slow, steady bleed, not a collapse, but a constant stream of departures. Decades of political mismanagement and pension debt have eroded public trust. People see taxes rise but services stagnate, fueling cynicism and frustration. Crime, especially in Chicago, adds to the unease, even if perception outpaces reality. The result? A perfect storm of high costs, low trust, and safety concerns. People are voting with their feet, seeking a better quality of life elsewhere. It's not about jobs disappearing, but about the cost of staying outweighing the benefits. Illinois is a warning. When the social contract frays, people leave. The exodus is slow, but the impact is profound. The challenge is rebuilding trust and making the state livable again. Until then, the moving vans keep rolling out. Illinois is learning that prosperity isn't just about jobs, it's about confidence in the future. Now, Louisiana, a state literally losing ground. The coast erodes at the rate of a football field every 100 minutes. Hurricanes like Katrina were catastrophic, but the threat is constant. Rebuilding is exhausting when storms keep coming and insurance becomes unaffordable. The trauma and uncertainty drive people away, especially the young. The economy, tied to oil and gas, faces an uncertain future as the world changes. It's a triple threat: environmental crisis, relentless disasters, and economic upheaval. Resilience turns to exhaustion, and leaving becomes a necessity, not a choice. Louisiana isn't just losing people, it's losing its very land. The exodus is urgent, a retreat from forces too big to fight. The culture is rich, but the risks are overwhelming. The question is how long anyone can hold on. For many, the answer is not much longer. Alaska, the last frontier, now seeing more people leave than arrive. The romance of wild beauty is real, but so are the challenges: isolation, harsh winters, and high costs. The distance from the rest of the country wears people down. Long, dark winters take a toll on mental health. The economy, tied to oil, struggles when prices drop, shrinking the once lucrative state dividend. Everything costs more, from groceries to gas. Young people and retirees alike are leaving for better opportunities and warmer climates. The adventure fades, replaced by practical concerns. Alaska's outmigration is quiet but steady. The state's vastness is now matched by its emptiness. The dream of the frontier is giving way to the reality of survival. For many, the last frontier is no longer worth the struggle. On Mississippi, long the poorest state in the nation, and it shows. Jobs are scarce, especially in rural areas where agriculture has become mechanized. Young people leave for work, draining the state of its future. Shrinking tax bases mean underfunded schools and hospitals, fueling a vicious cycle. Main streets are empty, towns are fading, and the social fabric is unraveling. Pride and culture remains, but frustration grows. Half the population in some towns has vanished since the 1980s. The elderly are left behind, isolated and concerned. The exodus isn't sudden, it's a slow erosion of hope. People want better for their children, and when they can't find it at home, they leave. Mississippi's struggle is about more than poverty. It's about the loss of possibility. The challenge is breaking the cycle before the state fades further. When people think of New York's population loss, they picture Manhattan, but the real story is upstate. Once industrial powerhouses, cities like Buffalo and Syracuse have been hollowed out by manufacturing decline. The jobs that replaced factories pay less, and the region feels ignored by downstate politics. High taxes and stagnant opportunity drive young people and families to other states. The result? A steady brain drain and shrinking towns. Grand old houses sit vacant, main streets struggle, and pride turns to melancholy. Upstate wasn't always poor, this was the heart of American industry. Now it's searching for a new identity. The contrast with booming New York City is stark. The challenge is finding a future that keeps people home. For now, the exodus continues, and the region's best days feel like a distant memory. Upstate New York is a reminder of how quickly fortunes can change. California, the Golden State, now losing people for the first time ever. The cost of living is sky high. Home ownership is out of reach for millions. Even middle-class workers, teachers, nurses, can't afford to live where they work. Many face brutal commutes or leave for more affordable states. Wildfires have become a year-round threat, adding anxiety and expense. The exodus is concentrated among working and middle-class families, not the wealthy. California is becoming a state of extremes, the very rich and the struggling poor. The myth of endless opportunity is breaking down. The California dream now feels out of reach for many. The state's challenges are immense: housing, climate, inequality. The question is whether California can reinvent itself, or if this is the start of a permanent decline. When even the Golden State loses its shine, it says something about the American dream. The world is watching to see what comes next. For now, the dream is deferred and the exodus continues. Ohio, once the industrial heart of America, now facing a slow population drain. Cities like Cleveland and Youngstown were built on steel and rubber, but those jobs are gone. The collapse rippled through entire communities, leaving empty factories and shrinking towns. Columbus has adapted, but much of the state feels left behind. The gap between thriving cities and struggling towns is stark. High school classes shrink, farmhouses sit empty, and nostalgia mixes with uncertainty. The decline isn't dramatic. It's a slow, grinding demographic winter. Young people leave for opportunity elsewhere. Ohio's challenge is finding a new rhythm in a changing world. The heart of it all is still beating, but it's searching for a future. The story isn't over, but the next chapter is uncertain. Ohio's fate mirrors that of the nation: adapt or be left behind. The exodus is quiet, but its impact is lasting. Detroit. No city tells the story of rise and fall like this one. Once the engine of America, Detroit's population has plummeted from nearly 2 million to under 700,000. The collapse of the auto industry left a void that rippled through every part of life. Bankruptcy, abandoned neighborhoods, and urban prairie are now part of the landscape. The pain is deep, but so is the loyalty of those who stayed. Some areas are seeing a fragile comeback, but most of the city still struggles. Rural Michigan faces similar decline as young people leave for better prospects. The brain drain is real, from city to countryside. Detroit's story is a warning about relying on a single industry. The scars are visible, but so is a cautious hope for renewal. Michigan's journey is a powerful reminder of the human cost of economic change. The echo of the Motor City still shapes the state's future. As Americans seek better futures, these states face an uncertain one. The Great Reshuffling is about affordability, opportunity, and hope. These states aren't failures. They're at a crossroads, defined by those who've left. The hollowing out of the middle has consequences for all of us. The challenge is to reinvent, to restore promise, and to keep the dream alive. This is just one chapter in America's ongoing story of movement and change. Which state will be next? Comment below, and don't forget to subscribe.